Surrogate activity tier list. Making art, C tier.
We might be biased.
Sex. Is sex a surrogate activity?
So was Ted Kaczynski having a lot of sex, you think?
No, I don't think so.
It literally creates life.
All right, let's ask what ChatGPT thinks.
If sex is approached and pursued solely for pleasure and distraction without deeper emotional and relational fulfillment, it could be viewed as a surrogate activity.
Nerd emoji answer. Literally, like, bruh, decide.
Now we have masturbation.
I don't think so. I think it can become one if it's repetitive, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, if it becomes an addiction. But masturbation just as a general thing. And this is what I'm using for porn. It's this a safe search result.
You mean the two dudes fucking right there?
Yeah, the two guys who are having sex.
Having sex, right, yeah.
Okay, this one is just getting big. Because here's the argument. There's actually a specific quote about this. For instance, there's no practical motive for building enormous muscles, hitting a little ball into a hole, or acquiring a complete series of postage stamps. That's actually something I forgot. I have to include stamp collecting.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this guy. This is like the pre-soy boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like soy facing at his baseball cards. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Why poor?
Because he's
this guy's balling, bro.
That's true.
He's on the zenith.
Yeah, you don't. You don't hate the soy boy. You hate his smile. Pokemon cards.
Pokemon.
It's just
that's a mental illness.
Call stuff that's like not a mental illness.
Yeah.
A mental illness, but then not call like Pokemon collecting a mental illness.
You're mentally ill if you're collecting Pokemon cards.
Yeah. I have S tier kind of quarantined off for stamp collecting. Top tier surrogate activity.
Beautiful boy.
Getting jacked for the sake of getting jacked. You're still healthier. This is just for working out in general. We'll say this is like C tier. Bodybuilding is kind of like A tier.
There's a certain level that you could be at physically, like where nobody cares anymore. You're not going to impress any women. If you already have like a roughly visible ab, just one.
Just one ab.
And just one single
ab. Right.
Skinless ab. You're fine. Aesthetics are, nobody gives a shit.
When you're jacked though, here's the thing. You can still beat people up. That's at least a beat.
Getting jacked is sick. Just
Getting
don't...
like enormously large.
Just don't get it to the point where you're killing yourself.
Have you heard of bloat maxing? This guy's like bloat maxing.
If you're trying to look like an ogre, yeah.
You can become this guy.
This is sound. Yeah, no, that guy's the pinnacle of like female attraction, I think, yeah.
Okay, how about just eating? Just eating in general.
Oh, that guy's enjoying that.
That's obviously an N for not surrogate activity. Because you gotta eat. Eating 3 meals a day is a surrogate activity. Eating in general, you have to eat. No, you don't have to eat 3 meals a day. That's a psyop.
Eating in general, not surrogate. You need to do it, apparently.
Getting involved with the drama community.
I think that's a good use of time.
I think it's surrogate activity.
Really?
Yeah, they're the worst.
You're saying watching it, right?
No, just being a part of it. Watching YouTube in general. Yeah,
that's a good use of your time.
Like running simulations.
Just, hey, man, take it easy. They're fucking doing that right now.
Keep doing it.
You're good.
Keep doing it forever.
There's no stress.
Keep doing it.
Yes.
You're going to wake up in 10 years, and like you're going to be looking at your screen, but you're going to look older.
Okay,
yeah, we're going to put this as N, not a surrogate activity.
I think you're good.
Having children.
That's a nerd emoji, a little bit, but... it's a good one.
I'm gonna put this in not a surrogate activity. Just cooking food in general.
I'm known to cook food. I'm really good at it. I'll be the first to say it. As a professional cook, as a professional chef. Yeah, sometimes cooking feels like a complete waste of time. But what if you're cooking to impress a potential romantic partner?
To have kids. So this is kind of what we're getting at with the surrogate activity stuff. Down here we have stuff that you have to do. Down here we have stuff that like kind of is secondary to this stuff. And then up here we have stuff that like is so much of a waste of time and gives you nothing that it actually actively like makes your life worse. I'm gonna move the TV up to A because I've become autistic about it. Yeah. So here's the thing: I have cooking and then I have haute cuisine. Haute cuisine will put like an A, and cooking in general maybe C for cooking. Okay, guns. There's like learning how to shoot a gun, and there's like collecting guns.
Owning versus collecting.
Owning a gun is probably almost borderline not a surrogate activity. Because you have to defend yourself.
All the time.
Is murder a surrogate activity?
I mean, it really depends.
At least you have an impact on the world. We're going to put that in I don't know.
Do you think it's ever justified to murder someone?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. What?
Okay, prepping. That's kind of gun related.
Okay, yeah. This is a total waste of time.
Yeah, prepping?
I think so, personally.
But Goganar, are you coming out of this from the perspective that the world's not going to end?
Right.
What if the world ends? Then you look pretty stupid.
Yeah, world ends, okay. The idea with preppers is they're just prepping for like years and years.
That's true, yeah. Okay, we can put this in A because it's very likely to be a surrogate activity. If someone self-identifies as a prepper and that becomes their identity, they'll be looking for excuses to be like, the world's ending.
Yeah.
World's ending for real this time, instead of realizing it's actually more of a slow decline. And moderation is key, as in all things. That's actually the moral of this, is that moderation is important. You know, if you work out, that's good. If you work out too much and you start bloat maxing, then it's more of a surrogate activity. So video games is like a classic example.
Well, what if you're cracked at Fortnite?
Yeah, if you're cracked and you're making money off of it.
Yeah,
I think we're just talking about games as
like an escape.
I don't know, but you can use any of these things as an escape. That's
Right. That's a very
the
good point.
complexity of this term.
There might have been something to his theories, actually, when you think about it.
No, Ted Kaczynski was a murderer. He was a very bad person.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're only making this tier list to let you know how bad he was.
We're only making this to let you know that if he had only had sex.
Ted Kaczynski really hated scientists.
They make those freaking vaccines. Those are gross.
Funko Pop.
Funko Pops are a waste of fucking time. Stop buying Funko Pops. I purchased Funko Pops ironically, sorry. I've bought them unironically. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite.
I think it's a safe S tier.
Max Mofo unironically collected Funko Pops for a while, to the point where it was like there's a rare variant. He would like go to the specific store or whatever to pick it up, and he actually owns Funko Pops that are worth like a decent chunk of money. But he also collects Pokemon cards, so he's mentally ill.
Yeah, speaking of which, I was just about to put the Pokemon card stuff up there.
Mental ill.
I never watched Max Mofo. What did he do? Like, what did he do?
Prank calls, and then just drinking milk till he pukes, and then recording like really awful but hilarious skits, and then Pokemon cards, and he was a gaming YouTuber.
And the Pokemon cards eventually won.
The Pokemon cards, yeah, they it is like it's more like a cancer than like a mental thing, because it slowly consumes like
Right. It's like a small part.
It cannibalizes.
And then you're Gus Johnson and you're opening up Pokemon cards while your girlfriend is dying or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's still doing it. Gus Johnson is still opening Pokemon cards. It's a mental illness.
We need to start a One Piece podcast.
A mental illness. Yeah.
That's the
shout out Monkey Jones.
No. Holy fuck! I like that. This you got a drama YouTuber on. We bring in the spice.
All of a sudden, this becomes like a controversial video where I'm name dropping people.
In our head, it's like, man, we're in some
hot
water. In reality, nobody cares.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
No.
I also actually I think I actively try not to bring up specific people on my channel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But because I like being abstract. But
if you're if
I'm gonna have Gokanaro on, we gotta.
That's what I'm known.
We gotta name drop people.
Yeah.
What do you think about cold ones? Is that like?
Oh yeah, they're alcoholics. They're gonna kill themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do want to be on it.
Yeah, I also want to be on it. I want to be there before they die. I did look at Max Mofo, like what he's up to, and yeah, I just saw genuine mental illness. But like mental illness that people really love. Like, he gets like the like ratios off the charts for engaging in mental illness, which is opening Pokemon cards. It's a sick world. It's a sick society.
Yeah.
And it's a replacement for genuine human connection. Invite me onto cold ones.
Yeah, I want to be on cold ones.
Mailing bombs to people to kill them because you are on an anti-technological crusade.
Is this another Kaczynski self-report? Is this what he did?
This is what he did. You
don't
know this? Okay, so I'm learning about drama YouTube. You're learning about Ted Kaczynski. He wrote Industrial Society on its Future. This is a manifesto. It basically says that the techno-industrial society is rotten and taking away our liberties and we need to destroy it. And he's right, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens in this room.
Right.
And around me at all times, and I'm thinking about it at all times since my entire life.
It is literally consuming me entirely.
Anyway, so reading a manifesto, is that a surrogate activity? Yes. The answer is yes. Trying to blow people up with mail bombs is ironically a surrogate activity.
You can only kill a man, not an idea.
Philosophy and science are probably tied. Meditating. Not a surrogate activity because it's meditating.
I've heard that this actually really helps with organizing your thoughts and figuring out what you're going to do. You've done this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a C. To an extent, like just being alone with your thoughts is almost essential.
Well, apparently not.
No, apparently not, because we don't do it, but we just decided, nope, no more of this. Time for more of this and this, and some of this too. Editing a video.
I regret every moment I spent editing videos.
Me too.
Because it's quite literally like fixating on a time that has already passed. Do you get
what
you know what I mean? Do you ever feel that? Where it's like, wow, I'm spending my current time refining a past time. You know?
It's terrible.
Wow, yeah, no, it's really the closest you could get to hell in some circumstances.
Gardening.
Man, that's such a nice one. It's so wholesome. I think of grandfathers and grandmothers who they're enjoying the retirement. I think that's cute, and I think it technically is useful.
Sex, eating food, and babies. That's all we can really say is not surrogate. Watching movies with friends.
Okay.
What do you think about this one?
I love this. I think this is so good. You learn a lot about people by watching a movie with them, in my opinion. This is like a complete psychological experience for me. But then even better, after the fact, you get to try and talk about it with them. But they don't want to talk about it. And You know, you have to end up just going into your room and watching people review the movie on YouTube and getting secondhand opinions that are not your own, but you've been fed them, so they're basically your own at this point. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
That seems that's a very specific anecdote. Cool.
no, yeah, I could see how that could happen to someone.
Talking with friends is not a surrogate activity.
I think it's about on tier with philosophy, honestly.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you can make community from it and stuff.
Yeah. This is pretty good.
And like the other thing with like philosophies, science, manifestos, like that can also be an in to making communities. Okay, sports, playing sports. Playing sports is a C.
Yeah, unironically.
But watching sports.
Oh
like
yeah, that's an A. Or worse, you could be gambling. Oh my God, gambling on sports. Yeah.
Oh, gambling.
That's almost as bad of a mental illness as collecting Pokemon cards, I think.
Social media, A.
Why not S?
You know, some of my closest friends I've met on Instagram.
You know what? That's a great point. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. A. Do you ever see like your family, extended family, operating on social media, and you're like, man, that is surrogate. What you're doing.
Old people on Facebook have been a disaster.
The algorithms really don't go soft on old people.
I'm going to put shipbuilding and wine tasting in A.
Is that literally
No, like
shipbuilding?
building a ship in a bottle.
Yeah, that's useless.
Um,
I'm just kidding. That's kind of hot in a way.
and then wine tasting is A.
I have friends who kind of aspire to be that.
A wine taster?
Yeah, it's useless. They invite me over. They give me drinks, which are expensive drinks, and it's like I should feel very honored. And I'm drinking, and I'm like, damn, this is poisoning me technically. And he's like explaining to me like the aromas and all this stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this tastes like gasoline. Smile and wave. It's like, that's a mental illness too, I think. Basically, it's like a smart man's way to justify an addiction is just knowing a lot about what they're consuming. Not S, because you can do it socially, and will be other people who are under the delusion.
And then last but not least, we have making a surrogate activity tier list. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
we're good.
I think
We're
that's
good.
fine. Watching someone make a surrogate activity tier list is not a surrogate activity. I think that's one of the base human functions that we need to bring us contentment and happiness. Good
You
idea.
can trust this man. Everything he says is true.